Well, we've had an opportunity to talk a lot about what you've seen in the classroom, how it's changed practices across the school, but also how it's impacted students. I'd love to hear from another perspective, maybe Jocelyn, as a school principal, what impact you've seen this have on teachers. And so curious if you can maybe share how implementing Red Thread has influenced teaching practices in your schools and classrooms.
Absolutely. That is a great question. And when I think of that, I think of the responsibility of being a school leader and making sure that our teaching team has quality resources that can support the learning and and growth of students. So one of the things working alongside Ms. Singletary was that we were on a mission to find a curriculum. We were on a mission to find different resources that can support um, improving our teaching practices, and that there was more of a shared knowledge and just shared norms around the school as to what were the expectations of learning and how we were going to support students. I also believe that this curriculum, and Natalie mentioned it so well, and I thank you for sharing some of those things from a teacher's perspective, because I think that if I was to ask some of the teachers in our school similar questions, it would resonate with many of the things that you mentioned. Seeing how students really get engaged and become alive with the Red Thread curriculum has been transformative in our school community. I think that's a good word to use. One of the things that has really supported is the fact that in our school, we have, of course, teachers that are veterans, have been in the field for many years, but then we also have teachers that are, more novice. They have come in recent years and they're eager to teach. They're eager to make sure that their students are learning. And we wanted to make sure that we were facilitating that in a way that everyone in the school had a very common language. And it's just a pleasure when we do walkthroughs in the morning and I am able to hear what one classroom is doing and the other class, and it's so aligned. When we come together and we have our grade level team meetings, when we're having our data talks, there is that excitement around the learning, and the teachers know that the resources are there. Ruth, you also mentioned about the teaching point earlier, and that is something that facilitates those conversations when we're having our agendas for our grade level team meetings, when teachers themselves are talking amongst each other. These are the conversations that are happening. And I feel that it has really impacted our routines, our pacing, just the demand not only on the students, but on the teachers themselves, having that intellectual prep, making sure that if I am reading that book with students, I am also internalizing what it means. What are these questions? What is the teaching point of the day? It has been a collaborative situation of just working alongside not only the teachers, but also with the school leadership in pushing this forward and making sure that we are, embracing the curriculum to its core. But I also have to say that we have had a great partnership with the Lavinia consultants. They have been instrumental in making sure that the rollout of this program was as successful as it can be. And we have been very grateful for that relationship with Lavinia. And the teachers see the investment, not only, of the leadership, but the consultants coming in, really understanding our school, our culture, and supporting us in our growth.
And Jocelyn, I'm just hearing you talk about kind of what that journey has been like. You definitely described much more than just rolling out a new curriculum in your schools. It really sounds like you have really created a robust culture across schools in what knowledge building means, what it looks like. Um, and that is not easy. That is hard work. To get there. And so I know that I would love to hear, but I know that everyone that is listening today would love to hear more about how you did that. What did you do to get to the place where you developed such a rich culture around teaching and learning?
Um, we were very aligned in literacy is important, and we wanted to make sure that our students had access to literacy that is multicultural, that reflects, in this conversation we've been speaking about different instances where students have made that connection. And the text that the Red Thread curriculum has includes that. And I think that that has been a vehicle to really inspire and support the work that is happening.